So this is Rochelle, West Rochelle. That's not the house though. I'll show you the house I'm talking about. It has a green door on it, so it's was it 3621 West Rochelle? It's coming up right here. Here is, oh my God, is that it? Those sons of bitches. Yeah, that is it. So they have the little Christmas lights up. Of course, Angel and I never had Christmas lights like that at all. But these are the other. Oh no, it's an orange door. It's not green. I don't know why I thought it was green. It's like an orange, yeah, an orange door. That's 3621 West Rochelle. They have their Christmas lights on. So they're Christians, probably connected with MacArthur Boulevard Baptist, renting from Arlen Roth out of Canyon, Colorado. Keep an eye out on that freaking house. Whatever research you can do on it. Because I can guarantee you something wrong is going on in that house. Because Angel and I got away okay. I'm not blaming the house. I'm blaming the landlord. Because I think the landlord has a certain type of effect on a house, especially a Mennonite landlord, if that's what he supposedly is, which I know he's not. And he's from a little town called Brooklyn. But anyway, he rented the house to Angel and I for about a year. And that same house is the one where church members from MacArthur Boulevard Baptist probably went into. One or two, but I probably was one. Tim alone, supposedly acting alone, the worship leader, getting a woman pregnant within the church, and her last name Cox. I'm just gonna say it. Her first name is Lauren, and so that was spread among the church publicly, because if it's announced of the church, then it's announced publicly. And that was Lauren Cox and Grady Cox. They made that publicly known and put fear in the heart of many believers in that church, and one of the main reasons why I left. Can you imagine a man coming into someone's family while the man is out desperately trying to work far away and impregnating his wife and calling himself a church member simply because he just wants to have a baby? You don't know how many thousands of people he affected in a very negative way by doing that. I am a believer that did not happen solo. I don't think he was acting alone. I think other members knew about it as it was going on, and because sin is such a hot topic in the church, they just allowed it to happen. But this is off of Rochelle and Esther's, believe it or not. Rochelle is right here, and regardless, I will not be attending MBBC really ever again. I don't trust that church with a 10-foot pole or any longer pole than that. Once Angel sat down and talked to me about the confession that was made that day, I decided my answer to her was, hey, non-believers don't even act that way. More like believers, so-called believers. And I think a church within Irving, among other Islamic churches and Indian people, being kind of, I guess they call it a special ops church, being surrounded by so many non-believers, I think that can affect a church, or a so-called church, in a very negative way, because they're constantly around what they would call the enemy, or what they would call non-believers, people that are not of Christ, which would be the Antichrist. But anyway, it affected that church in a very negative way. And especially me being, I'm not a new believer. I've been a believer since first grade. So I've been a believer my entire life. But me being newly baptized and also being already having 2 children at that time, and wanting to protect my wife, I wanted to flee. And now, guess what? My wife is gone. The 3 children are gone. And somehow that church is somehow connected with that, even though they'll claim that they're not, or another church is connected, because a divorce can never happen until that other man on the other side infiltrates that marriage. My mom could have never been divorced if it wasn't for Earl, which is my stepdad. My dad could never really truly be divorced if it wasn't for Janice, my stepmom, right? The infiltration has to happen on the other side, or it's not a divorce. The other man has to come in and rob that family by saying, I'm right. I'm going to rob this family. And they call it a blended family, which I'll have nothing to do with.